So I'm calling our annual meeting in order at 6:01. Good evening, my dear GKCPTP family, and welcome to Zoom again. Hoping for in person next time. But it's good that to see your smiling face. I can see some of them, but a lot of them, they are just names. But I hope everybody is smiling. I'm honored and thankful for Almighty God, members GKCPTP, and my wife, Carrie Zarawan. She's supposed to be here, but she had class too. So I don't know if she can get out or not, but she will join. The trust and the confidence you have bestowed on me is an honor. It has been 3 years you gave me this responsibility, and today I'm in your court for verdict. If I did something good, that's me. But if something went wrong, that's my team. Sorry, not the team, just me. So I'm nothing without my team, my board. They are like my close family. So first of all, I would like to thank our military committee, Sharon Lassie, for their tremendous job. The most work they do to coordinate with the sponsors and officers, and it's not easy job. Making everybody happy, it's very tough thing, but they do fantastic, and everybody should clap on their job. The second thing, the programs, which we have Circle of Knowledge and other programs, and that day and night work is done always by Nancy. And I appreciate your help, Nancy. You are doing a wonderful job. And then our other committees like membership, Karen, she not only helps us in membership, but she is like encyclopedia of our organization. If anything we want to know in bylaws, anything, what happened in past history, she knows everything. So she is like Yoda with us, a big force. So we ask her for her guidance all the time. Larry Hardman takes care of our website and social media with Arena, and they are doing a great job. And Arena contributed a lot, new ideas, and of course, she will explain later on. Thank you so much for that. And our planning committee, Candace did a wonderful job today. She will explain something what we did. Michael Wisniak and all that team which was in the planning committee. I'm proud of you guys. And without the minutes done, I think we could not keep up any record. So you are doing.
Somehow you're muted.
So I wish that we did not have to go through the most challenging time in our history. The pandemic not only affected us, but the whole world. We are lucky sitting here and enjoying this evening, but many people we know couldn't survive. Our prayers for their rest in peace. We are lucky because we have a mission to complete and make a difference on the world stage. The mission of the late President Dwight Eisenhower, who gave us people-to-people program under his guidance and vision. Greater Kansas City People-to-People Council was established in 1961. So talking about the people-to-people council history, I would like to update you about the situation of PTPI. Probably you heard or read the news in different newspaper. The good news is that PTPI did not file bankruptcy as it was stated in the newspaper. That's what Mary Eisenhower told us. That's the CEO of PTPI, Nicole Randall, told us. So they are in good shape on that. Their associated company, which was a traveling company, they closed that. And we are in touch with Mary Eisenhower, and we will update you down the road as anything changes. Their international traveling program is slowed, which was run by a separate company completely. As far as the administrative or financial impact on us, by PTPI or its affiliated companies, we are totally separate organization since 1961, with our own EIN and non-for-profit 501(c) corporation registered in the state of Missouri. President Eisenhower was our leader and still is. Our job is to follow his vision and mission. As President Eisenhower once said, we succeed only as we identify in life, or in war, or in anything else, a single overriding objective, and make all other considerations bend to that one objective. Our objective is peace, and that can be achieved through our mission. As citizen ambassadors, our mission is to promote international understanding and friendship through educational, humanitarian, and cultural activities involving a broad range of direct contacts, exchange of ideas, and experiences among the people of Greater Kansas City and people of different countries and diverse cultures that will help to build an enduring world peace. We need world peace today more than ever. Pray for peace in the world. No more wars. Let's work together to defeat hate, oppression, and authoritarianism. Let's establish friendship, harmony, and understanding. It was just 13 years ago when my wife, Carrie Zarawa, and I were introduced to GKCPTP and the CGSC sponsorship program. Since then, we have sponsored almost 18 officers from around the world. We have not only enjoyed sponsorship, but are proud of it. We are blessed that we got the opportunity to serve our country as citizen ambassadors. We are focused on a unique program of sponsorship of international military officers who attend the year-long Command and General Staff College course at Fort Leavenworth. Our job is to establish long-lasting relationships with these incredible officers and their families, make their time in Kansas memorable, so they can cherish it in their rest of life. They will always remember the time they spent with you, good or bad. It must be good. That will make us all proud. You all are doing an amazing job. You are planting the seeds of love and respect. One day, these seeds will turn into big trees. Those trees will definitely provide shelter, fruits, flowers, and comfort to everyone without any preference. God bless you all. Time is short, so let's start the next item on the agenda. To save your time and my energy, you know what I mean. So the next item on the agenda is 2021 annual meeting minutes. Don, please.
Thank you, Zahid. Larry has posted the meeting minutes to go along with the meeting call for this year's annual meeting, and all of those documents and lots of good information continue to be updated on a regular basis out on the GKC.org website. So if you have not just taken a tour lately about all the various things that are out there, I would certainly encourage you to do so. I'm not going to read the report, but I'd like to just highlight the fact that these annual meetings do provide an opportunity to hear from the various committee chairs, and we're going to continue to do that today as well. Last year, we heard about the various programs. We were in the middle of the pandemic. We knew that the fort was shut down. We were getting conflicting and swaying directions about how to interface with each other and the world. And we were locked out of the fort for various times. The fort canceled an awful lot of their face-to-face activities, and those were reported. But we continued to move ahead with updating financials. We updated some of the bylaws this year and changed on those kind of things. We continued to work through the military sponsorship committee on the fort and relayed a lot of that information in various MailChimp. That was our chapter bulletins to all the members. Last year's minutes also covered the status of the membership, which is from year to year a challenge because as Karen Haber was the membership chair, and the number of units that would be out there that would be the source for sponsoring the number of officers have a change, and we'll hear more about that. We took the elections last year, and we brought in some new board members and said thanks to the ones that were timing out. We actually last year had a couple of new sponsors relate their first year sponsorship experiences, and the minutes encouraged folks to reach out to other folks in their zip code and perhaps do some home hosting and keep those unexpected things from preventing people from getting up to speed. We also then reported that after several years, David Bourne came in and took over our long-term friend, Mike Bretman, who was celebrated, and we actually thanked him for many years of interfacing with us. We had some short introductions from the new board members last year, and during this year is Sharon Johnson's first year as treasurer, taking over for Marty Wilson. So Zahid, that's a very quick rendition of some of the highlights from last year's meeting board minutes.
So are there any correction, additions, or changes to the minute? If none, I'm asking for a motion to approve the presented 2021 annual meeting minutes. So who wants to move the motion? Okay, Jan is moving the motion, and who wants to second it?
I'll second it.
Joanne said she's okay. All those who are in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. All those who are against, say no. So the 2021 annual meeting minutes are unanimously approved. So we can move on to the next agenda item, which is annual treasury report. Sharon, please. Sharon Johnson.
Good evening. As was mentioned, this has been my first year on the board and the first year as treasurer. I've been familiarizing myself with the software setup, the routine activities, and organizing documents, and I want to thank all those who have answered my questions and helped me with that. I'm pleased to report that Greater Kansas City People-to-People Council is in excellent financial condition. As of December 31st, 2001, we had $17,870 and change in the bank, and investments valued at $81,460. Our income, and I'm going to share a slide. I hope everyone can see the slide. Our income dropped off due to program cancellations with COVID. But in 2021, they rose considerably as we ended the year in anticipation of getting things opened up again. Expenses, which had been lower than normal for the same reasons, remained low in 2021. Our final income was $6,705 with expenses of $2,459, leaving us a net gain of $4,245 and change. This puts us in a great position to restart our in-person programs and support the goals of the strategic plan, which you will hear about today. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer today, or you can email me at treasurer@GKCPTP.org to ask questions or request a copy of the financials, which I can email to you.
Is there any question on financial report? I will gonna ask to move a motion to approve the financial report as we received. Motion, please. Okay, Wasim, move the motion. And who wants to second it?
I'll second.
Okay, Nancy. So all those who are in favor of the motion to approve the financial report of 2021 as we received, say aye.
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 And all those who are against it, say no. So the motion is unanimously approved. The financial report as we received for 2021. And here I want to mention one more thing, that Sharon did a tremendous job sorting out all the legal issues of our organization. Sharon Johnson went to all the paperwork, wherever the things was left, she contacted IRS, she contacted the Missouri Department of Secretary of State, and she sorted out everything. And I really, really thank Sharon Johnson for your tremendous job. Okay, so we are going to move to next item on the agenda, membership. So Karen, membership, please.
All right. I did not put it on this slide, which I don't even know that we have it up, but Candace McField and Michael Wisniak on our board have agreed to be part of that committee with me. And as I said to them recently, I'm not good at delegating, but I'll sure try to. So I appreciate that. Don mentioned the membership units, and you can see that member units mentioned here. A membership unit is one family or one individual, depending on how dues are paid, etc. So for example, my husband Chuck and myself are one membership unit as a family member. So just to explain that. I did want to mention that we do have, and I'm preaching to the choir because everybody on, I think, is in pretty good shape, but we do have some people who have not taken care of their 2022 dues, including some current sponsors and those who want to sponsor for the incoming class. So just a reminder, notices were sent out with the annual meeting invitation, etc. But again, I'm pretty much preaching to the choir there. For the good news, we do have quite a few new members, basically from late November on through now. And I want to just mention those names briefly. If I leave someone out, please accept my apologies. And if I mispronounce a name, please accept my apologies. But we have Courtney Brooks and family, Nova Clark, Patricia and Chip Cody, Gregory Cousins and Shauna Woody Cousins. That's one I wasn't sure of pronouncing, by the way. Sylvia Culpepper, Lynn and Peter Godfriend have rejoined. They've been military sponsors, but they're coming to our chapter once again. Jack and Janine Kammerer, An Lee and family, Jennifer Nicholson. I know Jennifer's on, welcome. Terry and Cindy O'Hara, Bill and Tracy Ramsey, Ben and Shannon's sons. So welcome to those folks, and also very many thanks to those who've recruited them. But right now we are in good shape and we're getting people working towards being sponsors and being a part of Greater Kansas City People-to-People Council. So thank you. If anyone has any questions for me, membership@gkcptp.org or my email and phone number on the ballot and other things that you've received from me. So just let me know if you have questions.
Thank you so much, Karen. So the next item on the agenda is military report. Sharon Blass, please. Unmute, please.
And Sharon, can you pop the slides up? I wasn't expecting mine just yet. All right. So thanks first, Zahid, for the recognition for the work of the military committee. And I want to mention that, of course, it would not be possible for one person to do this. So I am very grateful for the military committee, and that includes Maggie Choplin, Joan Barrett, Karen Haber, Pat Burnett, Alan and Pamela Felton, Jane Cole, Randy Pace, and Tom Black. All are help get this done every year, get our sponsorship assignments and all the work that we do to support the program. So thank you to the committee. This class, I believe, that's coming up may be the largest class that we've had. I haven't found any records from further back that would indicate it's anything larger. So we're expecting 131 officers, and when I get to the slide on the map itself, I'll explain what I know about the possible change in that number. But for now, again, I think this slide is still, or this next bullet is still very applicable, and that's talking about flexibility. We ask our sponsors to be realistic on how you feel you'll be able to fulfill your role as a sponsor. We know that there's the last couple of years, as Zahid has already pointed out, have been unusual times that we've never been through before. And we know that some of our sponsors have been uncomfortable for good reason to personally meet with their officer and have a great deal of interaction. We hope that's changing. We know we see signs around us that the numbers are lower and there's more restrictions that are being lifted, seems like every day now. So we just ask our sponsors to assess their comfort level, and if the sponsor is not comfortable, then that's okay. We respect that and honor that. But if you do that assessment and feel that you are comfortable sponsoring, then be all in. Sponsor, meet your officer, interact, and be a good ambassador for the program. We do have also only country information, which is a little bit new compared to information that we've had in the past. So in order to make our assignments in the past, we've tried to do a very detailed job of matching, somebody that wanted a couple or a family, and even to the point of ages of children. And we simply this year only have country information. So we don't have any information about who the officer is bringing, if anyone, and whether or not they have kids or what the ages of the kids are. So we are asking our sponsors to accept that, of course, and know that that's all the information that we have to work with. So we will be using a lottery process to make our assignments this year. And we thank you, the committee thanks you especially for your flexibility in that regard. Next slide. This is the little bit of an eye chart, but this is a list of all the countries that are expected to come, and the two that I'll make a mention of. First is Ukraine. There have been 3 slots allotted for Ukraine, and as of now, they're not expecting any officer to come for the class unless some things change. But they're offered really in just solidarity and recognizing Ukraine, but the IMSD is not expecting anyone to come from that country. And then Bosnia-Herzegovina is listed as 3 officers, but likely there will be only 2 coming. And otherwise, there are no other changes that we know of right now to the list of countries. Next slide. And so the timeline for this year is the officers are scheduled to report on June 20th. They will start in processing, and if they've already pre-coordinated housing, they can move right away into the housing that they've arranged. On airport pickups, the last couple of years, we as sponsors have not been allowed to go to the airport and meet our officer. This year, you can go. IMSD, as you might have been accustomed to from a couple of years, they will provide transportation if we don't. So if you as a sponsor want to meet your officer and you want to transport them to the base, then you can do that. But please, we have to communicate that with the staff from IMSD who are doing the pickups, so they know then not to look for that officer. But and also on the other side of that, you are not being asked or required to take your officer to the fort. It's strictly up to you, your comfort level, and if you want to do it. But know that they will have a ride from IMSD if you don't want to do that or unable to do that. And then the icebreakers are scheduled, but it will be confirmed as to whether or not they can go forward with them. But right now they are on the books. The reason for this is currently there is a 50-person maximum for indoor gatherings at the fort. So that would have to be lifted prior to any in-person events being held. So that's what they're waiting on with regard to confirming the icebreakers. And again, just a couple notes, the physical interaction, be flexible there, whatever you're comfortable with. But, if you decide to be all in on sponsoring, then please make your best effort to be the best sponsor you can be. And then August 8th, you're going to see some calendar information here coming up, but August 8th is sort of that's our official start of the course. They arrive June 20th. They'll have a bunch of activities, and that 2-month period almost 2 months between June and August is an excellent time to do a lot of activities with the officer and his or her family, because they have a much lighter workload during that period. And then once August 8th hits, they get to be pretty busy. Next slide. They've already mentioned that David is our primary point of contact on the field. He runs the field studies program. Sean Madsen took a new position. He has moved to DC, and his duties are transitioned over to Eric Stafford, and Eric's mobile is there. He's the point of contact if we have issues with the passes while at the VCC, and we'll also post his mobile on the website. Next slide. LAC process. I just a couple of notes here. I want to thank everyone who participate or submitted their application in the time frame that we asked, which was the month of January. Our goal was to get everyone done based on the Fort's requirement. Everyone submitted to them by the end of January, and everybody did a remarkable job in getting their applications to us. We only had a few sort of stragglers that went outside of that end of January date. If you're one of those people that have not submitted and you're an existing sponsor, go ahead and give it to us now, because the activity level will only increase as we get closer to the arrival of the new class. And then just know that this time that you see on the screen here, that February 1st to submit, and then the expiration date for the pass itself will be February 28th. That'll continue, that cadence of that submit by end of January gets processed, and then you pick it up, or it'll expire by February 28th. That will continue. So even if you submit now, or you're a new sponsor and you're going to be submitting sometime in the next month or two, that pass will only last until this February 28th date. And then when you apply again next year, it'll be good for probably a whole year, depending on the date that you apply. Next slide. And then just some reminders here too, that Visitor Control Center is open from 7 to 4 Monday through Friday. So please keep that in mind after you're notified to pick up the LAC, and that would be by Pat or myself. Next slide. The sponsor briefing, which is our event to share information about the upcoming class, to set expectations for sponsors, officers, and IMSD. That will be held on June 6th. And I see a typo in there. It should be June 6th, 2022, not 2021. We're going to have it at Weatherby Lake. Nancy has secured that facility. And for the first time since 2019, we're going to have food. We're going to have barbecue, and IMSD will be there to share information. And we're also, for those people that absolutely can't make it in person or maybe uncomfortable because of COVID, we will have a Zoom option available. But if you're comfortable, we really encourage you to try to attend this in person. We're going to be handing out the sponsor assignments there, and also any handbooks to people that are in attendance that want them. And if you can't be there, then please let us know so that we know to mail your information to you. Next slide. So these are updates. Next slide. Updates from the Fort, the dates that they provided. I'm not gonna. There's 4 pages of different dates, and this is their entire calendar planned out from now through the end of next June, after this coming class has their badge ceremony. So it's covering an entire year. The items in red are events that that our sponsors can participate in. So let me just make a couple of comments. June 3rd, sponsor appreciation shows that it's being held in person. Again, that's going to depend on whether or not that restriction of the 50 person restriction is lifted or not. So it may or may not be in person. We're going to update you as we learn more from the Fort. And then there's the mention of the sponsor briefing, which I just covered. On June 9th and 10th, same thing, whether or not that will be in person. The badge ceremony is the one that we typically would be attending. Right now it's listed as in person, but watch for any updates there as well. And then the items that are holidays for the officers are listed in green. We talked about the icebreakers already, so next slide. And then mostly I'm just going to let you look through this briefly, because these are things that are a little later in the calendar. You'll certainly be getting more notice about any of these events, but just so you have it. These slides will be available, and if you really want to have a look at the calendar for various dates coming up for the next year, then you'll have it here all in one place. Something that the fort is planning, as you'll see on this schedule or this slide, we did the circles of knowledge this year, had 4 of them. Nancy arranged all that, and they have it built into their calendar. So I was happy to see that they are expecting us to do that again next year. And next slide. Same thing, just more information about the whole year. And then there you see the badge ceremony and the graduation down at the bottom, June 8th and June 9th. So all those details you will have. I just wanted you to kind of see the whole picture without talking about each one specifically. Next slide. Oh, I'm done. That's not mine. All right. Thanks
Okay.
everybody for your attention. And of course, if you have any questions, reach out to me or any member of the military committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon Lassie. And we will go on next item on the agenda, which is Planning and Strategic Committee, Candace McField. And then in that arena for the website, the social media, you can update too.
Zahid,
So go ahead, Candace.
Was there
I-
a question from
Zahid,
somebody?
it's Maxine. I just want to mention when Sharon was talking, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Maxine. Yes.
Okay, when Sharon was talking about the lax, they are going to have the visitor center open the first Saturday of every month. The first Saturday only of every month for people who are working or for people like Kansas City people to people that don't have time or can't get up there during the week. So the first Saturday of every month, they will have the visitor center open.
When does that start, Maxine?
I think it starts right away. I know that David had mentioned it, and then we had an OI meeting today, and it was brought up again. So I'm sure that that's right away.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Zahid, do you want to go into the program report next? With Nancy?
Okay, we can come back on the Planning and Strategy Committee. So next item on the agenda is program report and announcements. Nancy, please.
Yes, we had quite a busy schedule this last year. I guess we'll go ahead and put on the slide. Thank you. We did determine some members to help out with on our committee, and we haven't met yet, but we're looking forward to that. I won't. Let's see. We haven't done this for a while, but we felt like sponsor recognition was important, and we're going to start in on that just virtually this year, but possibly in future years we can do it in person. That'll be later in this program. And then we hope to schedule Deanna Rose for this fall. Hopefully, if everything stays with the current status, they are open, and hopefully Jane Cole is going to help with that event. Again, like Sharon said, we're planning 4 circles of knowledge. And we're so grateful to the officers that have been willing to share, because that's really kind of kept our membership together these last couple of years without any in-person events. It's been helpful to be able to come together in some way. We have some suggestions for other member-only and sponsor-only events in the coming year, but those have not been finalized yet. And then the annual meeting, hopefully next year, like Zahid said, hopefully we can have it in person. And let's see, the next slide. We mentioned the, let's see, this just lists, I guess, the Circle of Knowledge programs that we did hold this year and the officers that worked with us, and so very gracious and did just an excellent job. We were pleased with our participation. We had a couple of times we only had a few, but we went up to 31 on one of the programs. So we're trying to get that out ahead so people can plan around it. Sporting events sometimes get in our way, but we're trying to plan around that. And then each presenter is awarded a certificate of appreciation. And they very much were happy to have those. I think that's about it on this, and I'll come back later on the sponsor recognition.
Okay, thank you so much, Nancy. The next item on the agenda is Planning and Strategy Committee. Candace McPhail, please.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Candace McPhail. I had the pleasure of chairing the Strategic Planning Committee for this past year. Sharon, do we have those slides we can put up? Thank you. So yeah, it was a great time just, looking at our organization and the gaps that we have and how can we do a better job of fulfilling the gaps or enhancing the gaps that we do have. So just a couple of highlights. Well, I said the first one, we formed the Strategic Planning Committee, which I think is a great thing for us to have going forward. So we can always have that strategic plan in place and just keep revising it year after year. So one thing we did was, like I said, we crafted a comprehensive strategic plan. And from that plan, we looked at a lot of different areas, but we focused or narrowed our focus for 2022 to just 2 different areas of focus. And so what the 2 things we want to do is just basically offer more value to our members, and then also just continue to improve the sponsorship experience. So those are the things that we're going to be focused on this year. And then another big thing that we did was we've noticed that all of our committees only maybe had maybe 1 person, maybe 2 people, depending on the committee. So we enhanced or expanded the number of members on each committee too. So therefore it's more of like a team and not 1 person is carrying all the burden to run a committee. So those are the main things we did for this past year. And then looking at this year, what we need to do is we still have 1 committee, the humanitarian committee, that we need a chair for and we need committee members for. So we'll be looking for a chair. So if anybody is interested in that, let myself know or Zahid know or any of the board members know. And then also we will be, of course, reassessing the strategic plan and then also assessing what 2 focus areas or 3 focus areas we want to do for 2023. And that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you so much, Candace, for your hard work. And Arina, please, on social media, can you update us?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So my name is Irina Kopsio-Pavlovich. It's been a great honor for me to join the Communications and Marketing Committee. And Larry Hedlund has been spearheading it for a while, and he's done such a tremendous job updating our website and dealing with communications. And so I'm really, really happy to kind of step on board and help him out quite a bit with especially social media. And I've also have piggybacked quite a bit on my participation in the Strategic Planning Committee that Candace was just mentioning. And so as a baby being born out of the ideas that were created there, I have put together a marketing plan for the organization that was presented to the board, and we're still tweaking it. So there's quite a bit coming up. So Sharon, if you can show some of the slides for marketing. Some of the ideas that we picked up from the strategic planning would be some of the goals that include visibility, greater visibility in the Kansas City metro area, and just improving the communication interaction quality with all the members, and just kind of making us more visible in the community. And so far what we've done is the marketing plan has been put together, and just keeping up quite a bit with all the posts for social media and for website, making sure that all events, and we can see the next slide, that all the events are being shown to you so that you know what's going on. The calendar is being constantly updated on the website, and events are now posted on social media as well, together with the links. So it's easier for you to get into all of our programming. We also established a share drive for our board members where we're keeping quite a bit of materials. So I guess if we see the next slide, we can see one of the goals is actually to have a lot of marketing materials on hand. So for all the board members, or if any of you general membership are ever interested to recruit some more individuals into our organizations to find more sponsors, for example, which we're always happy for. Just let us know and we'll probably provide you with some of the materials or emails or some sort of information or direct you to some links online. So hopefully we'll have some kind of database for you all to use. And then we're working on just updating the social media in general and advertising with other organizations as well. We definitely need any help from you all, from all your connections as well. So if you know any groups that might be interested to learn more about our organization, about sponsorship programs, just let us know. We'd be happy to come out and present. And that's what we've already started doing. And then we would like to do more of that outside. Also, maybe co-promoting programs with other organizations that you may know. Definitely let us know, anybody on the board. And we're always happy to hear your ideas. So hopefully this year you will see some kind of survey where we will be asking for some of the suggestions for how to improve communications with our organization, what else you would like to see us improve. And so this is kind of some of our ideas for the marketing for the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Irina. Okay, the next item, we can go to the 2022-2023 election result and the slate. Karen, please.
Okay, Sharon, if you could put the ballot up, I believe everyone has seen it. And I give my thanks to those of you who have sent your ballots in electronically or via mail. I did go to the post office box today. Jane Cole, I got yours today. You can see the slate of officers, and welcome to our two newest directors once this is finalized. Wasim and Eric are both on the Zoom call, I believe. And I will turn it over to Zaid as we entertain a motion to finalize this.
Is there any question on the slate? If no, then I'm asking for a motion to approve the official and board members for the term of 2023. Who wants to move the motion? I can't see it's a slide there, so unmute and say your name. Who wants to move the motion, please?
Joan,
Okay.
Joan Barrett, I so
Joan.
move.
Okay, and who wants to second it?
I'll second.
Okay, Larry, second it. So I will ask all those who are in favor of approving this whole slate, say aye.
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 And all those who are against, say no. So the whole slate is unanimously approved. President Zahid Awan, Vice President, Senior Vice President, Membership Karen Haber, Vice President Program Nancy Quitmire, and Vice President Administrative Larry Hudland, Treasurer Sharon Johnson, Secretary Don Fusen, Director term expiring 2023 Jen Cole Wagner, and Director Michael Wisniak. And the term expiring 2024 Director Irina Hobas. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Irina. So, Director Candace McField and Director Stan Shipman. And then term expiring 2025, Director Pat Burnett, Director Wasim Khan, and Director Eric Scumber. And Military Chair Liaison Sharon Vlasic. I will like to welcome you and thank you to join this team. And I will be very, very honored to entertain your ideas, your suggestions, because your inputs will make this organization strong. And thank you so much, Eric and Wasim, for being a new members. And I believe that you will contribute a lot. And your experience, I know that can make this organization more stronger than ever.
Thank you. And if I may say, this is the first time that I actually said, when you said all in favor, put your motion, and everybody was hesitating. I was like, okay, maybe it's because it's my name's up there. So it took forever, somebody to motion. So I was like, wow, okay. But no, for those who know me, I am very vocal. I speak my mind. I love to travel the world. And I am very excited that I actually, Zaid cornered me, didn't give me any options, just said, hey, you know what? This is what, so I'm happy to be part of this. And I do believe good change is happening. There's wonderful knowledge in this room here, right here. So I am very proud to be part of this team. Thank you so much.
Eric, would you like to say something? Welcome, first of all.
Thank you. I don't really need to say anything. I'm just glad to be part of this group. Looking forward to getting more involved and learning more about what we do and trying to grow the organization. I like a lot of the ideas I've seen tonight.
Thank you so much, Eric. And anybody else want to say something?
Zahid, we should also, I think, thank our members that are going off the board. Tim Urban and Jerry Raggett.
Yeah, I'm going to invite.
Okay.
Yes. And we will come back on the other item on the well, that's after that, the sponsor recognition and emeritus members appreciation. But first, let's finish this meeting. And thank you so much, everybody, for your contribution. And we had two great members. They contributed a lot, Jerry Raggett and Tim Urban. Tim Urban has some medical issues, and he's been going through different surgeries and different, just please pray for his health, because he ended up in hospital a few times, and his health, we all need to pray for his health. Jerry Raggett contributed a lot, and he's busy, so we are thankful for his time, whatever he contributed, and we would love to honor his inputs in future if he has, or anybody in this meeting, or any member who have some suggestion or contribution or inputs, they can email me, they can email any board director. So our strength is your contribution. This is whole one family. And the family means that if we work together, and that will make our organization strong, and that will long last. So one man cannot do anything. Everybody together can make a huge difference. Not only in our programs, but in our relationship with the officers too. So those relationships which we establish with them, that will be long lasting, because those officers one day they will go and become either head of their country or either the chief of their army staff or defense or anything. And imagine when they are in that position, how powerful they are. And our relationship with them is not based on that status or rank. Our relationship based on when they were major or colonel level here, and it was mutual respect, understanding, and like a family. And that can make a huge difference. Imagine that what they will be thinking about our country and our people. So again, use your time to leave the best image of this country on those officers, so they will never forget our hospitality. So I thank you again, because you are my strength. You are the strength of this organization. You are the one who are actually running the mission and vision of President Dwight Eisenhower. And his spirit will be a lot happy that there are some people who devoted their time, money, and energies for his mission. Thank you so much. So let's conclude this. If you have any question, please let me know. We can conclude this, and then we can go on the other item, which was the appreciation. So is there any question or anything about this annual meeting? Is there any new business, or is there any old business? So if there is none, so I will ask to move a motion to adjourn this annual meeting at 6:58. Wow. In 58 minutes. So who wants to move the motion to adjourn this meeting? Okay, Eric. And who wants to second it? Wasim. So all those who are in favor of adjourn this meeting at 6:58 p.m. say aye.
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 All those who are against say no. So the motion is approved unanimously, and the meeting is adjourned at 6:59 now. So we can
Thank
go
you
back
to everybody.
Thank you so much, but we are not finished yet. We have to honor our sponsors and emeritus members appreciation. And Nancy, please go ahead, because we are honored of those like Larry Dolce and Barbara. I can say that Larry Dolce is the one who brought me in this board, and he helped me in initially, and he was the guide. And then Randy, and then all those senior members, Karen, I call them all the time, and they are just like their spirit, their whole life is in this organization, and we have to honor that, because those are the golden people with us. So Nancy, please go ahead.
Yes, I think this year we're so happy that we, although we didn't have a separate program, we are attaching it to this program, and we just really want to recognize our emeritus and emeritus eligible members, as well as those that have sponsored for 5, 10, 15, and 20 years. Some of the people that I've talked to have served, that are emeritus, have served 35 years as sponsors. It's amazing the time and energy they have put into this, and I think most of them feel like they've gotten just as much out of their relationships as they have put in. So just wanting to thank them for promoting international understanding, friendship, and enduring world peace. And I'd like to thank them, just at least go through their names, and I have a short memory from each of the emeritus members. For 5 years, we're honoring Steve and Henna Fuller, Jim and Grace Hobbs, myself and my husband, Nancy and Bill Quitmeyer, Mark and Amy Thompson. 10 years, Tim and Donna Urban, and 15 years, Jerry and Eleanor Raggett, and for 20 years, Fred and Barbara Vanasek. And now we're going to look at, so thank you. We will be sending you just a little card of thank you card. The thank you for the emeritus sponsors will be a little gift bag, and these are inside contains a few things from a store called Many Hands, and it's in Liberty, and it has items from all over the world. So I thought that kind of tied into our mission. So I hope you will enjoy those, and those will be delivered to you in person. Reiterating that emeritus status is for someone that's sponsored over 20 years and is no longer sponsoring. But as I mentioned, some have sponsored for 35 up to 35 years. First of all, Larry and Barbara Dulce, let me share just a memory that they shared with me. And they have sponsored for 35 years. They've sponsored 30 different countries from 4 continents. And they feel like their lives have been enriched immensely by this experience. The memory that they shared was during the year we sponsored our Tanzanian officer, our daughter worked for NGO in Dar es Salaam to show our daughter the same hospitality he was experiencing with us. His wife connected with the daughter there and invited her to dinner with she and their children in their home. And in the meanwhile, they were hosting, Barbara and Larry were hosting their Tanzanian officer in their home in Overland Park. They said continents and miles disappeared and it felt like magic. Thank you for sharing that memory. Howard Eichenwald. Howard recalled attending the ceremony where his officer entered the CGSC Hall of Fame, which is a great honor. He was able to travel to Europe and had dinner with some of the officers and their families that he had sponsored. This one is rather humorous, and those of you that have traveled at the fort know that this is this is always on your mind. He remembers receiving a speeding ticket for traveling 17 miles an hour while in a 10-mile-an-hour zone by a policeman on a bicycle. So watch your speed there. Thank you so much for sharing those. Daryl and Marjorie Holland, they have over 30 years of sponsoring international students, and they said they have been especially blessed twice to sponsor or unofficially support the grown military children of 2 prior officers that they had sponsored. He is grateful that for the fabulous memories that will continue. Thank you, Daryl and Marjorie. Rosemary Karp. In 1990, Rosemary shared that she and her late husband, Dan Karp, hosted Major Paul Kagame of Uganda, who is currently the president of Rwanda. In 2019, Rosemary and Dan's grandson, while working on his master's degree, was doing a conservation study in Rwanda, which was sponsored by Yale University. President Kagame took time out of a busy day to grant an audience with their grandson and have a photo taken of him. Thank you, Rosemary, for your late husband's contributions. Tom and Kay Willie. They mentioned that they have had the good fortune to stay in touch with many of their sponsors' families over the years and to visit some of them in their country. The overall experience of making so many wonderful friends around the world. What a great opportunity it has been. Thank you for all of your years. Jean or Jake and Linda Jacobs are emeritus eligible. Linda shared that one of her fondest memories was the visit of the grown children of an officer that they had formerly sponsored. Once the children had grown up, they came back to visit the Jacobs family and had dinner with them. They also continue, even though they are emeritus eligible, they continue to entertain officers from the fort in their home on special occasions, which we're grateful for. And the last emeritus eligible sponsor is Gwen Poots. She remembers sponsoring an officer from Sri Lanka who eventually, with his family, lived with them as house guests for 2.5 years. Gwen and her family helped them get established in the United States. One of their 2 children now is a junior at University of Kansas. She and her husband traveled extensively in the Middle East and had the opportunity at one time to meet General Petraeus and Queen Nora of Jordan, the wife of the late King Hussein. So that we have some very, very memorable experiences, I think. And I just wanted to take time out to bless them and thank them for their service or years of sponsorship. I don't think they considered it service. I think they considered it, it sounds like from all their memories, as an opportunity to contribute to our mission. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to just make a note to Nancy on what you're talking about. If the fort decides to hold the sponsor appreciation on June 3rd, those sponsors that were in the 5, 10, 15, 20 category, they will also receive their plaque from the fort that night. If it's not held, the fort will make those plaques available to us, and then we'll distribute them like we have done in the past couple of years.
Any question? Or anybody wants to say something? Larry, Daryl, all those emeritus members?
Keep up the good work. You're doing great. We're pulling for you, even though we're retired now.
Thank you so
Karen,
much.
it's good to
Thank
see
you
your
so much.
smiling face, and also Maxine Hunter. We have so many good memories. Thank you so much.
It's great to see you all. I'm glad you're able to join us tonight. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
Good to see everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
It's been great to be part of this wonderful organization and to be working with all of you that we have for so long.
Larry, Dulcie.
Yes.
Say something.
Thank you. Zahid, I'm so glad you joined us several years ago. You're doing a great job. Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
And we're always here to support.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I think we can conclude this meeting. If anything else anybody wants to say, please go ahead. If not, then we will see you in next in-person meeting, I hope, to talk to you and see you smile and give you a hug. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.